Hi, today I'm going to be reviewing a Samsung G Series RFG23UEBP American fridge freezer sent to me by the lovely people at AO.com to review for you. It has an Energy Plus rating of A+. It's absolutely fabulous and it's so big I've had to move to the back of the kitchen just to get it all in the frame. So I'm going to move forward and show you some more features on the fridge. First of all, you've got the huge doors. If I open them up, as you'll see on one of the doors, there is a magnetic strip that runs all the way down the length of the side of the door. This helps to seal the fridge and keep all the freshness and cold in. The fridge has a 396 litre capacity. As you can see, it is huge. If I show you the side, one of the side doors, you've got a space here for all your cans, which is absolutely brilliant. I didn't think the larger cans would go in. I thought maybe they'd fall out, but they don't. They go in lovely. There's plenty of storage there. As you can see, I've doubled up on all my jars and the space for that is huge. And I've got my whole 3 bottles of milk in there. And again on the other side, again plenty of storage. There's room at the top for, well, I've put my sauces in, but I suppose you put what you want in. There's a space here for more items. And then down the bottom, there's another compartment where you can put all your drinks in. I mean, I put juice in there, and as you can see, I could easily fit in 4 cartons. So ample space for all your drinks to keep it cool. If I go on to the fridge section, as you can see, it is really big. I mean, I am struggling to fill it, so I'm going to have to do a bit more shopping, I think. If I show you a few of the features of the fridge which I really like, is on this side of the fridge here, you have a lift up shelf that comes up really nicely. That enables you to put bottles in if you need to. So you've got more storage there, maybe if you'd want to put your bottles of wine in. So that's really handy to have. Put that down again. Also, there's another space very similar down the bottom here. Again, you've got a shelf which you can use as a full shelf, or you can tilt it in and it glides very easily in. Again, this would give you space to put any bottles that you wanted or cartons. So I'll put that back. It really glides out nicely and smoothly and goes into place. All the glass is made from safety glass inside the door. So if I go on to a couple of the features of the fridge, it does come with Twin Cooling Plus. This keeps the fridge completely separate from the freezer and helps to circulate air separately through each compartment as it's being used. And it also stops any odour going from one section to the other. At the top here you can see there's the water purifier. This needs to be changed every 6 months. This is for the water dispenser, which I'll show you later. As you can see, it does come with a handy label that you can place on that tells you roughly when it needs to be changed. But again, you will get notification of that from the display unit, which I'll show you later on. That was very simple to install. You just pushed it up and give it a twist. And then you've got the ice making compartment here. That's actually where the ice is made, inside the unit here. And then when you shut the fridge, it travels into this section here and goes into a little slot. And then your ice will come out through the machine on that side. The actual ice making machine and the drinks dispenser won't work unless you've actually got the fridge shut. I'll show you some other features of the fridge. Down here you have your 2 salad drawers. Both of these have a humidity control button which ranges from low to high. The instructions clearly showed you what these were for, because to me it was it's not something I've used before. For the lower setting is better for all your salads and your fruits. For leafy vegetables, if you put it on a higher setting, it does keep them fresher for longer, and it helps the airflow. You get airflow through both of the drawers. If I can show you how much you can get in there, there's quite a lot. I mean, I have got quite a few things in there, and plenty of room, as you can see, for more products. And there's 2 of those. You've got one either side of the fridge. This I really like, and it's quite a nifty little added extra, is your wide open cool select pantry. As you can see, you can get plenty in there. I've got all my meats in there, and the hams, and then a few other items. You can slide the drawer, so you'll remove it or move it depending on where you wanted to select it in your fridge, to make the room for these items. That again, like with all the things in this fridge, everything smoothly glides in and out, and is very simple to use. So if I show you on the, we'll just put that back. If I show you how this works, on the right hand side here, as you can see, we've got an LED display. This has 3 separate options. So I've got the deli option here, which is what I've put it on now, because I've mainly got hams and chicken and things for the school lunches. That's set at 5 degrees. And then you have a fresh section. That's if you wanted to put all your salads in there, which, you know, during the summer months, if you're going on a picnic or you had extra salad that you wanted to keep cool. And then here is the 0 zone. That changes the temperature to 0 degrees. That would be used for your fresh meats. It certainly does keep the food fresher for longer, I've noticed. And also, you know, on the basis of fresh food, I have noticed all my salads a lot crispier than it normally is, and it's keeping a lot fresher for longer than it normally would. I don't know whether you've noticed while I've been videoing the fridge, but there's a bleeping noise that keeps coming on. After a while, when the fridge has been open for a short while, an alarm does go off. This is optional. You can set it for the alarm to go off, or you can leave it and then, you know, so it doesn't go off. But it is a warning if the fridge is left open, which is especially useful if you've got children, because, you know, they're not always as careful as we are. And just one more feature of the fridge before I move on to the freezer is it has got a multi-flow cooling system. These are small vents, as you can see there. They have these at the top of each shelf, and they help to maintain the temperature throughout the fridge. So especially if it's been opened and left a while, you know, left open now like I have done, when I close it, it'll help to cool the fridge back to the normal temperature. Also has a fabulous light in there, which is huge, so if you were coming in the night, then you'd be able to see what you're actually getting at the fridge. I'm going to close the fridge now. So, and then we go on to the freezer. The freezer is actually a pull-out drawer system, so you'd lift the handle and pull it out. Again, that's got a light in it, which I thought was great, you know, because normal freezers don't have that. Loads of room. I wasn't sure whether it would be as big, with it being mainly a fridge thing, the American thing, but there is absolutely loads in there. As you can see, it's gone right down to the bottom there. Plenty of storage for food. It also has a handy little storage bit at the side here, which you can put smaller packets in, so I've just put that in there. But I have found actually it's a good space to put my ice blocks. It's certainly great if we're going to be having picnics if we ever get a summer. So how this works is you've got your top part there, and then the drawer easily glides backwards to we have another compartment underneath. This is huge and it's really deep. I mean, as you can see, I'll show you this one. We've got lots and lots of food in here, and so it's really deep, and it goes quite down low. Bearing in mind Christmas, the times when you're going to be getting your turkeys, you'd easily get a huge turkey in there, no problem. Whereas with the normal freezer, you might struggle somewhat. So I think that's all I can tell you about the freezer. I mean, it's like I said, it does glide in. It's lovely and smooth. The freezer does have a frost-free feature that maintains cold air. It prevents any build-up of ice in the freezer, making it work more efficient, which is brilliant because you're never going to need to defrost it. Onto the actual LED display on the front. There's quite a few features on here. You've got your energy saver, which obviously cuts down your electricity. That would be great if you were going on holiday. You just put it on the energy saver mode. It would help to maintain a temperature in there throughout your holiday without causing any smells or without anything going off. Especially if your fridge was empty though, if you'd emptied it before you left for holiday, then you'd be able to maintain the fridge without actually using a lot of electricity. The freezer, those are your settings on the freezer. You can set them to how you want. The recommended for the freezer was -19, and I think it was 3 for the fridge, but obviously it's up to you where you set it at that temperature. This is the alarm that I was talking about. You could choose to have that on or off. So you see the light going on and off there. That's for your fridge. That also is the reset button for your filter. When you replace your filter, you set the reset button, and then you have the filter light here. When that needs to be changed, that will light up in a different colour to give you a warning that it will need to be changed. You've got a lighting button here, so you can have lighting. So there's the lighting to show you that the lighting's on. The lighting is actually under the water filter here, so that's off, on. Again, I suppose it's one of those, if you thought you were going to be getting up in the night, so you didn't want to turn the lights on, that would be there if you needed it. Again, the fridge has got a power cool section, so if you have left the doors open for a long time and you needed to quickly make it cold, again, you press that for 3 seconds, and then that would put the temperature back to what you wanted to. There is an ice lock on there. If you've got young children and you don't want them playing with the machine, there is an ice lock button there which turns the ice off. That would stop them going up to the machine and just sort of helping themselves to ice. I'll show you how the ice works. First of all, I should say that when we got the machine, we were a bit concerned about how we were going to plumb it in, because we're at the opposite end of the kitchen, and we weren't sure how the water was going to feed to the other side. It does come with this, which is part of the kit, which is your pipe. For us, this was too short when we received the fridge freezer, but we managed to get one online. They're readily available, very cheap, and we got a longer one and extended it, which enabled us to keep the freezer in the position where we wanted to have it and plumb it in. That was a really easy job, but then I'm lucky enough to have a very handy DIY hubby who fitted it perfectly for me. The kids were certainly excited when it got plumbed in. So if I show you how the ice and the water works, it's not picking up the ice, but oh, there you go. So if you want the ice there, you just press the ice button. You have a choice of cubed or crushed. So if I show you the crushed first, I'll just get myself a glass. You just place the glass underneath. crushed ice comes out. My only thing I would say about this is there's your crushed ice. You do need quite a large glass. We did find when we first used the machine, the crushed ice tends to go, because it's getting crushed, it tends to spill out the machine quicker, and a few pieces did land on the floor, so we've soon learnt to use a bigger glass. And then I'll show you the ice cubes. They do come out very quickly. There you go, the ice cubes. What we did like about the ice cubes is they're quite a really nice shape. They come in like a little half circle shape, which I thought was quite cute. And then when you've done the ice, you then change it to the water, and then you put your glass underneath, and then you get your fresh water. So you've got nice ice cold water on tap 24 hours a day. This has to be my children's favourite feature. My daughter mentioned that she hadn't used the tap for a couple of days, and that she didn't know what we were going to use it for anymore, and maybe we should just wash our hands. They certainly enjoy it, and they enjoy drinking lots of water, and it's been great that they've actually been doing that. I think I've covered everything from my review. I've certainly enjoyed reviewing it. I can't tell you how excited I was to be actually getting this fridge freezer, and I can't thank enough the people at AO.com for actually sending it to me. It's absolutely my dream appliance. I can't find any fault with it, and I hope I've covered everything. I certainly would recommend it. I think it's just an amazing fridge freezer. Well, thank you for watching my video. I hope it's helped you to decide whether or not you would like one of these in your house. AO.com certainly gave us fabulous service, delivery. I have to mention the drivers. The drivers were absolutely amazing. I mean, it is a huge fridge. We were, when they were bringing it in, they unpacked it outside of the house. They checked to see whether it would fit through the doors before they attempted to actually bring it into the house, which I suppose would stop it from getting scratched, and came and checked first where it needed to be placed. So everything was planned before it was brought into the house, and they put it into position for us, which was absolutely brilliant. The only thing we needed to do was adjust the feet, which were down at the bottom here. Again, that was very simple. It was just a case of turning a small knob at the bottom and twisting it round. Anyway, like I said, thank you for watching my review, and I hope you all have a nice day. Thank you.